I came across a Michael Jackson, Bucharest, I think it was. You would see all these different races and colors and ages.
Oh,
I'm
in
like,
this concert?
I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to do that to unite all of these people, man.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not For Nothing podcast, hosted by the dynamic duo Christopher Michael and Ashley Mayland, where they delve into life, love, relationships, and personal growth. Be sure to tune in every week for a refreshing take on life's most important lessons. So what's going on here with Brian Haley? What's up, brother?
How you doing, my man?
Thank you for coming, man. Appreciate you coming all this way.
Absolutely a pleasure to be here. Thank you guys for having me. I mean that.
Of course.
Oh,
of course. So exciting to have you, by the way.
It really is. Hope you enjoyed your travels here. Wasn't too hectic for you.
Well, I never flown JetBlue, but now I am a fan. I will fly them from here on out. Yes.
Well, you really, it was that
Yeah.
good of an
Really?
It was
experience.
really good. I'm normally a Southwest guy the past 26 years.
Wow.
Really?
But JetBlue, I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
stepping the game up.
So
I've
what,
heard that.
what do you
Yes.
like about it so much to change your mind?
Man, it's clean. It feels like a technology is really there.
Right.
You know, you get screens on every seat
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, everything is right there at your disposal.
Assigned seats.
Yeah, and they're asking you to, do you like this? Give us a rating. You know, every 10 minutes that pops on the screen, but all you gotta do is just hit, the exit out button.
Right.
But everything just feels like they're into the new, as I would
Yeah,
say.
they are. Their new,
That's
their
awesome.
new jets are awesome.
Yes.
They are. They got charging ports everywhere.
Yeah.
It's convenient for sure.
Yeah. And their seats are more comfortable.
Yes.
They are. Some of their old planes are a little shoddy though. It's rare that you get put on one now though. Sometimes you do. Most of them they phased out though.
Okay.
It seems like at least. So you originally lived in St. Louis though. So you live in Nashville now.
Yes, St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. Let's go. The St. Louis question is not what college did you go to? It's what high school.
Yes.
High school.
Yes.
Ridner High School. Let's go Huskies.
Yes.
St. Charles Rock Road.
That's hilarious and so true because I get asked that all the time and I'm like, I didn't go to a high school here. And they're like, oh.
You didn't go to high school in St. Louis?
No, I'm not from there. No.
Why do I feel like I did? Did I know that?
I don't know if it's ever come up.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm shocked that I didn't know that about you.
I'm sorry.
I think I have to ask more questions.
Obviously.
Obviously.
That.
So you actually moved to Nashville. You moved to a place called Murfreesboro when you were what, 18?
Yeah, well,
16, 18?
Actually, I moved to Nashville. I was downtown Nashville, homeless my first year there. Just playing on downtown. It's called 2nd and Demonbreun.
Okay.
And Broadway. So downtown, Hard Rock Cafe. So I played in front of with bucket guys, the guys that play the buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I asked them, could I bring out a drum set, and play a song alongside you guys? They said, absolutely you can. So after a week, they friendly uninvited me because I was getting more money in my bucket than they were getting their buckets. So I went down the road to Hooters, got really cool with the girls there.
Right.
Start passing out my marketing cards. So yeah, man, it's just been an amazing, wild, beautiful journey.
Tell us more about that.
Amazing.
Like just like playing for money on the street like that. Like what was that like for you? And especially if you were homeless, like how long did you do that before something came of it?
Yes, well, I had a soft yes. My last 2 months in St. Louis, Missouri, I had a soft yes by this lady named CeCe Winans. And so back then it was BB and CeCe. So they came and played at our Mid-America Six Flags.
Oh.
So we had this thing called the Battle of the Bands. So if you won on the smaller stage, you got to open up for BB and CeCe on the main stage. Long story short, we won the Battle of the Bands. I played, and Mark Harris at the time was CeCe's and BB's music director. He said, man, what are you doing in St. Louis, Missouri? I said, man, not really nothing. He said, man, you need to think about moving to Nashville. I'm like, Nashville? Hee Haw?
It's like the
Hee Haw, Nashville?
music capital.
That's all I knew about Nashville was Hee Haw. Come
Right.
on Saturday nights after Benny Hill and all, and after all that kind of great stuff. So, man, I thought about it, and I promised my sister on her deathbed I'd get out of St. Louis and do something with my musical career. So 2 weeks after she passed away, I just moved down there on sheer faith. I just knew what I was coming from. I mean, what I was going to was going to be greater than what I was coming from.
Yeah.
So I just had it. I had that feeling, man. I just had it. I knew it.
Yeah, you had kind of a rough upbringing. How you were raised by a single mother.
1 of 8, not eating well. Just mom. We were struggling, man, and you don't know how much you're struggling until you come out of the situation.
Yeah.
That you were struggling. But yeah, man, we just had to make ends meet, and me being one of the oldest within the household because I'm number 6 now.
Yeah.
After your parents have more than 3 children, you don't get a name, you get a number. I'm number 6.
Are you
one on
sure?
your
You
hat,
say, yeah,
though.
not anymore.
Number 1.
Not
That means we are
anymore.
one. Yes. Yeah, man. So I'm number 6, and so came up. All my older brothers and sisters, they were older.
Right.
Left the house and doing their own things and stuff. But I was the oldest still at home, so I had to step up my game, man.
Wow.
Mom didn't know what I was doing, but
Right.
brothers and sisters, we all knew what was going on. Survival.
Yeah, you
Right.
do what you have to do.
Yes.
Some people don't understand what it's like to have to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
But
agree.
I mean, look at you now, though, man. Seriously.
I have a question for you about
Yes.
that. Was there a single person in your life at a younger age like that when you were living through that type, of environment that you looked up to, or were there no examples set for you at all? Like, was there anyone at all that you looked at and thought, oh, if I could be that, that's what I want? Or was it just like you just had to find yourself completely, and figure it out for yourself, or both?
Yeah, actually, it was a little bit of both. Hopefully, I don't offend nobody with this, but
No.
the number one person I did look up to, because even going through alopecia, losing your hair at a young age, I drew to the Bible, man. So I looked up to Jesus a lot.
Wow.
awesome.
Even during that phase
Even
of life?
during that, I just knew, because I was isolated. I mean, parents told their kids, do not play with me, because back then they didn't know what alopecia was. They thought it was a death sentence. They thought I had cancer. And back then they thought cancer was still, you would catch it, and it's
Right.
like you would catch it's contagious and you would die. So
Oh my God.
a lot of 3 or 4 years of just sitting at lunch tables by myself and stuff. So I got really good at sports, basketball, football, and drums.
Wow.
So I would dig into, those things, that would not isolate me.
Right.
Wow.
So once I was a freshman in high school, got really good, was a senior. Was a freshman starting on the varsity team.
Wow.
Became the football. So now all of a sudden I'm at the cool kids table,
Right.
at the dance table room.
Yeah.
The fine cheerleaders. I'm like, yo, this feels good, man. So I'm speaking about all that too within my new book coming up. So
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's,
amazing.
it's amazing that you were able to come through all of it,
Yes.
as sound-minded as you are. It's tough. When you have to go through something like that, it's traumatic. Sometimes it leaves a mark on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have that mark. It's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it on the day-to-day? Do you think about it a lot, or is it does it keep you on the path that you're continuing to go on?
Yeah, man. I think about it every day, and how I deal with it is I be what I need. I know what it feels like. I've been blessed to be able to walk into some amazing rooms, and now people look up to me. So I'm always drawn to the person that's in the corner, isolated.
Right.
So I gravitate to them instantly, make them feel comfortable, validate them, because that's what I needed coming up, right? So man, I love seeking out the person who's ignored and overlooked.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great
That's-
that you do that.
It is, and we need more of that in our world.
do.
We really do.
Yes.
And that is definitely a biblical principle,
Yes.
so
Yes.
you can tell that that's strong within you.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
You're also a very, very successful musician. Three-time Grammy Award winner, this guy over here.
Let's
So
go.
we
No
gotta-
big
we
deal.
We got to brag about you a little bit, man.
Yeah, just 3 Grammys though. I mean, it's
actually-
fine.
You toured with SWV, Mary J. Blige. You did a tour with them in South Africa, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How was that?
Mary J, SWV, and you forgot the crooner himself, Keith Sweat.
Oh, that's right.
What?
It was.
My. Yeah. Sorry, Keith.
I love me some Keith Sweat at 9 years old.
Man, that's all we listened to coming up, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweat and stuff. And I'm like, so be able to share a stage with those 3 pillars
Yeah,
in South Africa was amazing.
I can imagine.
Oh, it was one other too, the Weather Girls.
The weather,
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
I
never
know.
heard of them.
Why do I know? Were they big back then?
Yeah, Raining Men. It's
Oh yeah.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know the song. Yeah, I didn't know the name of their group was the Weather Girls. Though.
OMG,
Yeah,
that
man,
one,
the
I
Weather
just did
Girls.
some dancing to that song.
Yeah,
Me and my
seriously.
mom.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll never forget again. That's for sure.
Please don't.
Yeah. Yeah, so talk about those Grammys. Like,
Seriously, what was that like for you, man?
It was amazing. I had the honor and privilege to share a stage for 19 years with this artist, Christian artist named Toby Mac. My brother Toby, what's up? Diverse City in the building. Toby Mac at Diverse City. And I'll say this too. Can I say this? Take a pause for the cause. We just lost a member, a pillar of Diverse City just this past Friday. Gabriel, rest in power, my man. Love you, and prayers and shots go out to him and his family and his children. But yeah, man, winning those Grammys, Toby let us all kind of create this this amazing, just shining city on the hill. We're all diverse, different races, different colors, because in a predominantly white CCM industry, which means contemporary Christian music, Toby just saw the need to bring some culture in there. So I thank him for trusting me and the rest of all my bandmates, diverse cities. So pretty
awesome.
cool. But winning those Grammys and 25 million records sold worldwide later, it's funny because people always ask me in interviews like, yo, man, and now we're about to get into it. Okay.
Let's hear
good.
it.
Let's go.
It's funny because they asked me, so did you ever imagine this, growing up? And honestly, guys, I can say this. Things always happen twice. First here in the mind and then in the natural.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. So when I was a kid, 9, 10 years old, having alopecia and all this kind of stuff, I took out my whole bed and I put my drum set there. Now practicing, you would think I'm just practicing me and myself. In my mind, I'm practicing in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So they're like, yo, so how did this happen? Is it weird? I'm like, no, I done it from a kid in my mind.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was right at home, man.
Yeah.
I guess it's the law of attraction or something like that. I don't know, but
well, you manifested it.
Come on,
That's so awesome.
Come on.
You
So
have to.
awesome.
You got to
Yeah.
put positive energy into the world, man. You got to have belief in yourself.
Yes.
And if you believe it and you work hard towards something, you're going to achieve it.
Yeah,
Even
that's
if
right.
it's not at the absolute highest level, you're going to achieve it at a level of success.
That's
Yeah.
so good, Chris.
Yeah.
That's real, bro.
Yeah. And I think it's amazing that Toby Mac did that. I had no idea. I was really young when he first started out. Obviously I was really familiar with like Christian music, like Rebecca St. James was like my jam. And DC Talk. I love DC Talk. And there was, a bunch of them I loved, but I had no idea like with the diversity thing, but that is amazing to me because back then you didn't see that so much at all.
Yes.
Like, and of course, when you're young, you're not thinking about that. But as an adult now, like looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing that he did that and started that and opened those doors that way, because that is what it's supposed to look like.
Yes.
Right?
Toby's very intentional. Guy got a lot of kickback from it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
still now,
sure.
still not diverse.
Exactly.
It's
Because
still segregated.
especially in the Christian industry,
Yes.
I have to imagine that was
Yes.
really a big deal.
Yes, huge.
Like I can't even imagine like, the pushback he got, but man, like what a guy to be
Yes.
like, this is my call. I'm going to do it anyway. Like, thank you,
Yes.
Toby Mac. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Now, you were explaining to me the difference. Were you saying there's the difference between Christian and Christian gospel?
Absolutely,
You were
bro.
explaining that to me the other
Ooh,
day.
let's dive
And
in.
I love this, man. This is what I'm writing about in my book. Because you have CCM, contemporary Christian music, which
Right.
is the white side.
Right.
Then you have gospel, which is the black side.
Uh-huh.
The two, they never intersect.
That's so
we
true.
did a tour back in 2007. Toby Mac and Kirk Franklin. It's called the I Have a Dream Tour. The biggest tour I've ever been on. I mean, the best tour I've ever been on in my life. Numbers wise, it wasn't the biggest because they didn't really give it the marketing budget and the marketing time it deserved. Normally, whenever you're doing a major tour like that, you take 6 months to a year just to market it.
Right.
That tour only had 4 weeks to market.
Wow.
What?
So it was shot in the foot in the beginning,
Why
right?
they do that? Just
I don't know, man.
We know why.
yeah. Well,
Let's be real.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
But we did all Hard Rock cafes, which is C market venues. You have your A, which is arenas. You have
Right.
your B, which is like your Fox theaters. Then you have Hard Rock cafes.
Right.
So we did those, man. We had 18 on the books. We had to cancel 3 because of low ticket sales. But they're low ticket sales because it wasn't being
Yeah.
marketed.
Right, it wasn't
Nobody
being
knew
pushed.
about it.
How can people support if
Right.
if it's not being marketed? But man, I tell you one thing. By the end of the night, Toby Mac fans would come in first.
Right.
Kirk Franklin fans, black folks, we come in last. You know how it is.
Wow.
Fashionably late.
Yeah. By the end of the night, everybody was laughing, hugging, exchanging phone numbers. That was the power of that tour.
Wow.
I felt like, and the reason why I wanted to do music, because when I was a little kid, I came across a Michael Jackson, Bucharest, I think it was.
Wow.
You would see all these different races and colors and
Yeah.
ages. So
Oh,
I'm
in
like,
his concert?
I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to do that to unite all of these people, man.
Yeah.
That's really why I wanted to do music. It's 2 things that bring people together. That's great food and great music.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
It's amazing how people, coexist together when they have common ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that they equally love.
Yes.
That's
And,
right.
Yeah, you're right. Music is, I would say music above anything else.
Yeah,
has
even-
always
yeah.
been what brings people together the
Yes.
most. If nothing else, we all have that in common.
Yes.
I agree.
We love music.
Absolutely.
It's powerful.
So that's it. So what was it for you? What was it like for you after that, though? Like that, I would imagine would have had to propel you a little bit now. You on tour with all of them?
Yeah, man, it's totally fun. And then too, back in 2014, because I would do like the devotions before we would take the stage.
Okay.
And I always had a movement of, just coming outside of our tour buses. Cause it can become a shell because everybody's on their tour buses and their hotel rooms. So I would come up with games like cornhole and, come up with different devotions. So 10 years ago, Toby asked me, hey man, the stuff you're speaking about, would you mind doing it in front of the audience?
Wow.
Like really speaking about we are one, which means we're all one. You can't be separate from the creator. So regardless of what race, creed, social, political, whatever standards you have, let's put away the many minors that we let divide us and pick up the one major that unites us. And that's love. That's what that tattoo is all about. So I started doing it, man. I was afraid. I did it scared, and it just felt like it just started exploding. So
Wow.
That's what launched the whole We Are One movement. So back in 2019, I retired from the drums and went full-time speaking because my schedule was crazy.
Oh, I
It was
can imagine.
crazy. Yeah.
You know what I love is that, speaking of love, what I love is that no matter how you feel about yourself, whether you have doubts or insecurities, when God wants to use you for something, he's going to use you for something, and you're going to make an impact even if you don't think you're worthy of making that impact, because he is working through you to touch other people's lives. And it's almost like you are just the vessel. So as long as you're willing and you show up, the rest is up to God. And that's what's beautiful. Like you said, you were nervous to do that, and it made a huge impact. And now you do it all the time because that was the call he had for your life. So it was out of your hands, really.
Yes. Come on now, Ashley. That's why I love you.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, guys. I had coming up in school, I was always in the resource room.
Right.
Meaning I had a speech impediment and a little bit dyslexic too.
Okay.
Guys, me coming from behind, we call it the front line of the band.
Yeah.
From drums to the front of the stage. You don't have bandmates out there. It's
Right.
you and 15, 12,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
it's
the first
intimidating.
night I did it, if you guys could see up under my clothing, underwear, everything is drenched.
Sure.
Drenched.
Oh, I can't imagine. I'd be terrified.
Drenched. I mean, they say next to death, the biggest fear is public speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, it's true. But the benefits of it, guys, just being able to see the light bulbs come on and people hugging and the testimonies and the stories that you're getting afterwards.
Yeah.
It is worth every bit of trauma
Yeah.
Right.
that it puts you to be able to prepare for something like that.
That's right.
And you always get nervous. You always get jitters before you go and do anything.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I used to play golf a lot. So it'd be called like the first tee jitters. And no, I'm not how much you do it. And I did it professionally for a little bit. You always have it.
Yeah.
You did golf professional.
I did, not on the PGA, but yes, I played on a professional level.
I knew I loved you too.
Now I know what you two are doing next time you're down here.
Yeah, we can go golfing for sure.
Teach me something, bro.
Yeah.
Teach me something.
Fun fact, really quick for you. This is how good I am at sports. I did golf lessons in high school for like an entire summer, right? My dad really wanted me to be a sporty gal. Just wasn't in line for me. But I had to wake up at like 5 a.m. every day to go do golf lessons with like the best coach in the area, right?
Did you love it?
No, my dad did.
Okay.
But needless to say, at the end of the summer, basically, usually when everyone like trains with this guy, they'd go off and do a team, like a golf team, and they would like, compete and stuff. There were 7 of us. It was the only one that didn't get picked to go on the team.
Oh, Ash, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not. I'm not saying feel sorry for me.
No,
It's-
of course,
I'm
I
telling
know.
you, like sports was not my thing, and like I knew it, but that was like my sure sign. Like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
As much as my dad wants this to be me, it's just not. Anyway, moving on.
Well, look at it this way. I could tell you sports may have been my thing, but I can never sing ever.
Yeah.
So we all have our things.
That's right.
You know,
Yes.
so
That's right.
You have to give credit where credit's due. Some
You do.
people are meant for different things.
That's right.
For me, it was athletics. For you guys, singing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's just, I would much prefer to know how to sing, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's something that stays with you forever. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I'm going to get rusty. I'm rusty now in golf and it doesn't come back to you that easy. And I love, honestly, I've always wanted to be able to sing. I don't know why.
I mean, a lot of people have.
Yeah. I just sound like
That's why people in American Idol that can't
sound
sing
like
are
a-
there trying to sing.
Come on.
I mean, they say, so I heard somewhere, you can tell me if this is true. So I was reading somewhere actually that unless you're literally or physically like tone deaf, you can learn how to sing.
Oh,
That the only thing that stops someone from being able, like physically the muscles, you can train them and sound good.
That may be true.
Yeah,
not
unless
sure.
you're tone deaf,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
then you have a problem.
I think it's true because I can't sing. I can do enough to tell a singer or background vocalist what to do in the studio.
Yeah.
As far as me doing it in front of people, nah, it's not
Right.
gonna happen.
I think you either got it or you don't. And then if
Yeah.
you've got it, you can be taught to be even better. That's what I think. Like,
Yeah, I
But-
would think. I mean, there's some people that are very good singers, but they'll never sing professionally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then they're, but, well, why did you never pursue it? Yeah, I always like to
did.
ask you that.
I
Did you
did.
pursue it?
When I was 16, tried out for American Idol.
Okay.
When I was 21, I tried out for American Idol. It was all about insecurity though. I was just so young. And
That's very political, isn't it?
oh yeah. When actually the year I tried out, Carrie Underwood was trying out in the same city as me.
Oh, wow.
I think it was in Nashville.
Wow.
I think it was either in St. Louis or Nashville. I can't remember. But they told us going in, like, look, there's going to be a ton of amazing singers here today that aren't going to get picked to go very far. And they're like, it's not a personal thing. We're here for ratings. Like, this is a television series. This is a show.
Yeah.
And we are going to be picking a wide range of people for different reasons. So if you don't make it this year, come back next year because you just never know. So they tell you that.
Yeah. You know what always bothered me about it, though, is that and don't get me wrong, I get that they're in it for ratings, but they would put people on stage, right? Give them the opportunity that literally were god awful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the thing, like they
For
think
the
about
ratings.
it, yeah, for the ratings. So when you take a spot from someone that could genuinely use it to propel their career,
Yes.
I mean, it's it's
Yeah.
not fair. And it's
Yeah.
not right to do that.
Yeah, but that's what they have to do. And it's worked. I mean, American Idol's still going. Moving on, though.
True.
Moving on, though. Enough about
true.
American Idol. No dissing on that anyway. I love that
Speaking
show.
of American Idol, shout out to Mandisa, Colton Dixon, Danny Goki, toured all three of those people. I love y'all. Let's go American Idol. If it wasn't for American Idol, they wouldn't be on those
That's so
tours.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, it propelled a lot of people. Kelly
really
Clarkson she was the first one, right?
Yes.
Love her. Look at her
Yes.
now. She's got her own talk show. Like, love her so much.
Yeah.
One of the greatest singers ever. Like, every song she covers, I'm like, well, that was amazing. That's even better than the original version that I've always loved. You know, she's just so good.
I feel like they've had more successful artists than most of the shows. American Idol. by
Yeah, I
far.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood killed it.
Yes.
Killed
Who
it.
is it? Jennifer
Hudson?
Hudson.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Hudson, yeah.
And Simon Cowell had some harsh things to say about her, man.
What?
And look at what she did.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
Oh.
he basically outright told her like she has no future.
No.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
You got to be kidding me. Jennifer Hudson?
Yeah. She didn't win that year. She I think she dropped out before the final round. I think.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Simon had some choice words for her at that.
Well,
at that
that's
moment.
another example of, hey, if God's got a call for you, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It doesn't
matter
matter.
what anybody else thinks about it.
The
Doesn't
best
matter.
fuck you to somebody is
Come
your
on.
success.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I love you.
All right. Well, one of my biggest beliefs is that you should never have to say you're a Christian. People should see God in you.
on.
And if they can't see God in you, are you really a Christian? Like, that's what I think, honestly.
Yeah.
Or even, do you love God if people can't even see God in you?
Come on.
Like, not to be harsh or critical, but it's like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
To
That's
be
just
loving in a way that people feel that you are, a child of God.
So what would define that though? Like what would define you seeing God in somebody? Just them being a kind person, loving person?
Well, there's so many things, but it is the presence of someone. When you are in a room with someone, you can tell. Like, I mean, for example, Brian here,
Right.
he's a good man. You can tell that.
Yeah.
You feel it, right? You can feel his authenticity. You can feel his sincerity. You can feel that he is a gentle spirit, right? The spirits of the fruit are, joy, love, happiness, all these things. Like, if you feel and see those things in a person, then that's how you know.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious.
That's what I think.
And I'll take it a step a little further. I feel it with all you guys.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
feel
that,
it.
man.
I would have never came.
No,
No,
I'm sure.
I'm very cautious of where I spend my energy and my time with.
Yeah.
I felt that through us connecting.
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling it with you. And that's what it's all about. And I'll take it a step further too. And in my book too, as well, there's a thin line between religious Christianity and spirituality.
Yeah.
Right now, I didn't take in the shift of spirituality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't like the way certain Christian things or the religious system
Right.
is portraying people. It's all about dividing these days more so than uniting. And I don't think that was the creators, universe, whatever you want to call them. We're made to love, man. We're better,
Yeah.
stronger, faster together as one.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
we need each other. Come on, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
do this
Right.
alone.
Yeah.
You can't do it on your own.
That's right.
We need a team. Together, everyone achieves more through this thing called love.
That's right.
So,
And
Yeah.
And the more you do together, the more people are affected by it.
Yes.
Because you have a story and a message and an aura about you that someone needs to see and hear, right? And that's the whole point,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That we couldn't give them. You know, I told this to Sarah yesterday too. Like, there are things that people can hear the same thing out of two people's mouths, but there is one that they will actually receive it from.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's why it's so important.
It's the person who you have most in common with or can relate to their story the most.
Yes.
You can always take more from a person that you can relate to more.
Yes.
Even though they might have an identical story to somebody else. Depends what they went through, how they handled it. But let me ask you a question though. So typically religion has been a point of division throughout history.
Yeah.
So with it still kind of being today, I mean, what do you think the religious system could do as a whole to kind of try to work to bring people together more? I mean, you seem to be pretty involved in it. So what's your opinion on that?
Man, I think the biggest issue we have is we need to start listening to each other. It's funny because my ex-wife told me this, and I'll never forget this lesson that she taught me. She was coming home from a bad day one day, and venting to me. And as men, you know how we are. We want to fix stuff, right? We want to fix it. She screamed out, "Yo, B, stop. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen and try and understand."
Oh, yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
That's just to listen and put our feet in somebody else's shoes. But in religion, we don't do that. It's our way or the highway.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not open to outside opinions. Besides, it's all about this strict, rule-based, condemning thing.
Preach.
Yes.
Preach. And not only that, it's like, not only will I, as a religious person, not only will I not look or try to understand you and put myself in your shoes, but if you don't put my shoes on, I won't even allow you in my circle.
Come on.
Right? Or if I do allow you in my circle, you're going to be judged for every second you're not wearing my shoes.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's just not it. That is not it. That is not the message Jesus gave us at all.
Not at all.
It's
So-
amazing how people corrupt things, you know, and turn them into points of division between us.
People with an ulterior motive.
Yeah, I think it's always an ulterior motive. I think people obviously come from a place of intent when they do things like that, which is unfortunate because something so beautiful should just work to bring people together. Unfortunately, it works to divide.
Yes.
So,
It makes me sad too, because I think Christianity has been made out to be so awful. I know so many people who are like, oh, I could never be a Christian because the way that they treat people, the way they act, they're hypocrites. They, this and that. And I would feel horrible. I would never want to step foot in a church. And it's like, and these are good people with good hearts and good souls that are actually acting more Christian than the Christians that I know.
Yes.
Right. Even though they're not proclaiming it. Right. But it's sad to me because the message is there, but people listen to other people instead of just reading it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They listen to other people that are like, oh, but they'll stand in front of a congregation with, this is how you have to live. If you don't live this way, this is the consequence. Like, look, we all know that life has consequences, but when you force an action on someone and they aren't free to choose it anymore, who do you think you are?
Come on.
absolutely.
Who do you think you are? You're not God, and God doesn't even do that,
Yes.
Yeah,
No, 100%. It's just, people love to push their interpretations of things on people.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. Like, I have no problem with who you are or what you do, as long as you don't try to force it down my throat.
Yes.
Let me do things and learn things on my own. Like, I don't need you to tell
Right.
me how I should live my life, what I need to be doing. I understand all that. I know what to do for myself.
right.
And
And
I think more people need to stop doing that. And then people, I think, also become more open to things when it's not shoved down their
Yes,
throat.
That's right.
You know what I mean? When
That's right.
when you try to force feed somebody something, they almost kind of get like guarded.
Yes, every
what-
time.
Like, what's the motive here? Like, why are you doing this?
That's right.
Instead of just maybe introducing me to something kind of solely and on my own terms. So, will people ever change? Probably not. But we could do a better job.
Yes.
That's right.
We could be better.
That's right.
Man, I don't have to agree with you 100% in order for me to love you, serve you, and accept you.
That's right.
100%.
That's freedom. Love should be freedom, man.
Yeah.
Not bondage of
Yeah.
rules, regulations, shoving your opinion down my throat, expecting me to digest it.
You're
That's
right.
a word right there.
Yeah.
That's a word. And when you put it that way, that's a good word to think about in relationships too.
That.
Romantically. That's a hard one. When you really think about it. We get to go so far into that rabbit hole. But
Ashley, Lord. Yes. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
I mean, I'm guilty of that myself. Not allowing people freedom in romantic relationships just out of my own insecurities and fears, right?
I think we all do it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wanting to control what people do, afraid of what they will do if we don't control the situation. And then they end up doing it because they're being controlled, right?
Yeah.
And it's like trying to break free.
It's
You
tough.
know?
I've got to a point now where I've learned to walk away from things. Like just walk away. Because I feel like at this point, especially when you're with somebody, if you love them or they genuinely love you, like you shouldn't feel that way, right? And if you are feeling that way, most likely, I know you can have insecurities. I get that. But I think if you feel that way in a relationship, chances are that person's probably doing something to make you feel that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if they are, they're probably not for you.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
You know? So save
right.
yourself the time.
Especially for women. The safer a woman feels, the less constraints she will have on your relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%.
The more a woman trusts you, the less constraints she will have on your relationship.
Yeah.
That's good, Ashley. That's really good.
Yeah. If a woman can like be with you and have that assurance of, I know this man will put me before these other things if he has to, that speaks volumes. It doesn't mean he has to all the time, but if she knows you would, just knowing you would.
Right.
Right.
Well, knowing that you're first, you should be. You should be first for one another. I mean, that's your number one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the hat.
Come on, brother.
Like the hat says.
Hey, girl, we are one.
But yeah, you know, the dating world, relationship world, it's all kind of fucked up today. So people don't have the same values as they used to.
Can you say that one more time? So the people in the back will hear that?
Yeah. People do not have the same values that they used to.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
Come on,
That's
bro.
true.
What's your take on that?
Yeah.
My take on it is this. I feel like love is everything, right? What's the opposite of love? The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear. What does fear do? Fear tries to control, puts up rules and regulations. It doesn't allow the people or the person to be free. And I say it again, love is freedom. And we were talking a little bit, a little while ago, just about coming to a relationship. I don't want a person, I'm coming out of divorce now, 2.5 years, been divorced.
Okay.
I don't want a person who wants to stay with me just because they're bound by contract,
Yeah.
right?
Of course.
Facts.
A marriage, right?
Right.
I want them to choose me every freaking day.
Yeah.
It's a decision every day. You know what? You can love the good of me. You see the love. When you Google me, you see the love that I do.
Yeah.
But that's not really who I really am.
Right.
Right.
I need somebody to love my dirty draws. Excuse my French.
No, I get
Or at least
that.
tolerate them.
Come on.
Right.
The good-
For their love for you.
the good, the bad, the ugly, that is real love.
Yeah.
Real love. See, it's all about these days. People are caught up in what people are saying. Real love isn't
Yep.
what we say. It's the
Yes.
action step of what we do.
Yeah.
I'm done. Sorry.
We listen too much and watch too little.
Yeah. I think another problem is a lot of people hide who they truly are today, a lot more than they used to.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is that when you do that, you pretend to be someone that somebody wants, right?
Yeah.
Not even necessarily pretend. You keep things from them.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid that they're going to reject you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
That's
what
right.
happens is you get into a serious relationship with that person, and eventually you have to tell them where it comes out.
Yeah.
Now everything's built on a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
There's-
now the relationship's toxic from the
That's right.
very get. Now
That's
what
right.
do? Now you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two reasons for that. One, some people do that out of fear. They wear a mask out of fear that you will
Agreed.
leave them and reject them and abandon them. So they feel like they have to show up as a person that you would love,
Yeah.
not realizing that they can't really love you if you're not you.
Yeah.
Or indifference, because some people don't care. They don't have those emotional feelings, those emotional connections that regular people do. And there's a lot of people like that. It's weird. And so they pretend to be something to pull you in because they don't care either way,
Right.
but they need you to think they're something that they know they're not.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird, but it's just the way it is.
I'm surprised you left that one.
Huh?
I'm surprised you left that one. There's actually a third, don't you think?
What?
Psychopathy or narcissism?
Oh, well, yeah, we don't need to go into that. We all know what they are. Okay.
That's awesome.
We know what they are.
Oh, man. Fuck.
And I'm not even hating on them because you know what? Nobody wants to be that way. No one just comes into the earth and thinks, I'm going to choose to be a narcissist. I just want to hurt people my whole life. Like
Absolutely.
it's not an intentional thing until it's an intentional thing. But even then it's like they are bound by things that we don't understand.
They are. I think people do miss that. As much as we do condemn people like that,
Yeah.
you're right though. People don't wake up one day just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy people
Yeah.
for the rest of my life."
Right.
You
It's
know, I'm
not
gonna
a- yeah.
pretend to be someone I'm not. Like that's.
I don't want to
it's
feel
not-
things.
Right. Exactly. So while we fall victim to it, at the end of the day, most of the times it's not their fault.
That's right.
The
And
things
Jesus
that
still
they
loves
do.
them too.
He does absolutely.
That's right.
So if you don't mind me asking, not to get too personal, so what was the breakdown like within your relationship, do you think? Like what happened?
Man, hello Instagram. Hello Instagram.
Yeah? Wow.
Oh boy.
No, that's how the my ex-wife's affair partner got to her, was through Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And
Very
just
sorry
fed her,
about that.
just fed her a bunch of, lies and stuff. And I forget this teacher. I heard him say too, there's a technical psychological term for this. It's called limerence, the limerence effect, right? That means like a person, like if they know that, let's just suppose you've been amazing to her or him 80% of your life, and 20%, you have flaws. In their mind, to justify their actions, they flip it. They make you a villain where now you're 20%, 80% to assume they're more value of them taking a dramatic affair partner on like that.
Right.
Wow.
And so my ex-wife villainized me and was talking. I can feel the energy. I'm like, are we good? Yeah, we're good. She just wasn't herself, and I knew something was going on. So for a while, she was just lying to me for a long time. So I felt something, and then I discovered, hello, iPhone. Oh
no.
And he was able to find the pictures and all of the evidence that I needed. So I had to get attorneys involved, and then too, I had a PI because we had a lot of assets involved, just to make sure everything was protected on my end.
Right.
Because I love to say too, Tennessee is one of the few states where who committed the actual
infidelity.
Yeah, infidelity
Right.
is still considered within the disbursement of all the assets and stuff. So man, all that to say, now my ex-wife, she's like, she apologizes. I shouldn't have did all that stuff to you, but she was lying to me for 81 days. And after I knew everything in real time, if it was just probably physical,
Right.
I could have been like, you came to me, honey, sit down. This is what happened. Bada boom, boom, boom. Because of what I believe in love. And I know people make mistakes. I didn't make mistakes. Never that kind of mistake.
Right.
But I would say this, we probably could have worked out. But when you're lying to me, manipulating me, and the way I travel and me being going, I don't need that on my mind. So if I can't trust you, man, I got to let you go.
Yeah. Well, it perpetuates it.
Yes. It was the hardest thing that I had to do, because now I'm faced with my spirituality of it,
Right.
and reality of it,
Right.
And I'm like,
conflict.
man, if I can't trust you, then I just got to be up. And to this day, we're great friends, and our main goal is just to parent our daughter well, and that's our common, our common goal. That's where we meet in the middle. So we have a great relationship. Will I ever trust you? No, but I still love you for a human being that you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, it's amazing you were able to maintain that. It's not easy for people to
I'm
maintain
sure.
that after. Right? And honestly, I'm glad most people are not able to walk away the way that you did. So, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Being able to get yourself removed from what was obviously a toxic situation at that point.
Yeah.
It's tough. When you love someone that much, it's tough.
Yeah, brother. And I still have, we all have the triggers, right?
Yeah.
The triggers, and it's still certain things, certain songs, certain smells that bring you back. I'm like, yo, and I'll say this too, man. We were married for 13 years. We were married for 12 years, together for 13 and a half years. I don't take anything for those 12 years. Those were the best 12 years of my life.
Yeah.
I flourished when I was married.
Oh.
That's what gives me hope going into, this next season of my life. It's we just had, a year where it was just like, woo, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have hope too for what the future yields and is going to bring. I know it's going to be amazing.
So people say that the thing that people don't get, people struggle with, is maintaining or regretting. Like they're so angry when something happens, and they'll harbor it forever, right? And they'll regret everything about a relationship. Mm-hmm. So where I give you credit, because I'm the same way, is I never regret anyone that I'm with, no matter how badly it ends. Because at some point in that relationship, I was my best self.
Yeah.
And I have so many good memories from those relationships, especially with my ex. Like, I love her to death. We're still very close. Although we weren't meant to be together, she changed my life in so many ways for the better. And she brought out such a good version of me. I could never condemn anything that's ever happened between us.
Yes.
Because weak moments are weak moments. People make mistakes, like you said. Unfortunately, we don't wind up together because of it. But at the end of the day, I don't regret one single day that I spent with her.
Yes,
that's
not
good.
one.
absolutely. So
That's
good.
good.
It's hard.
And if you think about it, those little glimpses of being your best self in a relationship, even if it doesn't work, it's like if it can be that good with the wrong person,
Right.
imagine how good it's going to be with the right one.
So
Right.
There's that hope.
And that's why you don't settle. That's why you don't settle.
Yeah.
so good. I love this.
Yeah.
This is
glad you're
therapy.
enjoying it.
I think y'all need to invoice me or something.
You didn't get the bill yet?
He's like, ooh,
I'll be happy to pay it.
No. We're happy to have you here, man.
therapy for us too.
It is. I'll tell you, it's like cathartic to talk about things sometimes.
Yes.
You know, it really is. Just to get them out, even if you just general, like just bullshit conversation with somebody, just shooting the shit, talking. People don't realize what it does for you to get things off your chest.
Yeah.
You know, so many people hold it in so tightly and they suffer through it all, right? They suffer in silence.
Yes.
If more people just opened up and just talked a little bit more, even if it's just to one of your friends, to your mother, to your father, like somebody, I feel like the world would be so much better off.
Yeah, man. And it wouldn't be so much disease. That's what dis-ease brings disease.
Yeah.
And
Preach.
for men, Chris, we're horrible at that because
We are.
women talk all the time,
Yeah.
right? I remember when I was going through my thing on my Instagram, I was just, giving little hints there I didn't want to say.
Right.
So many men like Me Too. Men, it felt like a Me Too moment for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And men just showing, I'm like, it's just not me. I'm like, man, this is something I can use and keep within my tool belt. It's
Yeah.
just to really be vulnerable and talk to other men about stuff. Because we don't talk, man.
No, we don't.
We
Yeah.
don't talk.
I agree. I think that's so true.
Yeah, we've discussed this previously. We try to hold. Sometimes we intentionally hold things in, not to not be vulnerable. But we were saying, even in relationships, sometimes it's because we don't want to pour it on to the women that we love.
Yeah.
So we take it. And
with other men, it's like being vulnerable seems like a weakness,
Yeah, it comes off like a weakness, and it's just not the norm. It's just not how we were brought up. You know, you ever have your father tell you to go talk to one of your friends or your mother? You know what I mean?
We always heard, suck it up.
Right.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah,
love.
stop crying.
Right.
Suck it up.
Tough love from your father. Your mother is the
Good
one.
for ya.
If there was anyone, it was your mother that you talked to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't go run to your dad about your emotional problems, right? Because he'd give you a kick in the ass. He'd tell you to throw some dirt on it and keep doing what you do.
Yes.
So that's not who you went to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where do you learn it from? You don't learn it from anybody.
That's right.
You know?
So true.
So
true.
we need the women in our lives, you know? Just like we need our mothers.
perfect
we
balance.
need the women. It is.
It's a perfect
man.
balance.
If we don't have them, who do we open up to?
That's
if at
right.
all.
We all have our place in this world, we all have our place in relationship. I love traditional values and relationships. I mean, obviously, I think some things should change, right? I think women should be allowed to work, and I think women should have rights. Like, all those things are necessary in this life, and you don't have to be a feminist to believe that, right? But I do think that there are certain roles that women do better and certain roles that men do better, and I think they're a perfect balance when you do it just right.
I'm confused. Wait a second. Did you say they don't have those things? You said they do have those things.
When they
right?
do have
when
those
they
things.
do have those
Yeah,
things.
no. Yeah, women shouldn't work. That is, no, yes, of course. Women should
Right.
be allowed to have freedom like a man should
Sorry,
have freedom,
Ash.
like in life and success and all those things. But
Sorry. I'm going to apologize to you guys both. My mind is a little hazy today.
You're good. bro.
I couldn't even make it out last night, which, by the way, I apologize, Brian, for inviting you out to dinner and then not making it out.
No, man.
it was horrible for him being with 3 young women. It was just awful.
Oh, well, no, I know he enjoyed it, but, you know.
It was so much fun, man. Just getting those perspectives from these amazing young ladies, and just dope. It's just
Yeah.
dope.
Well, perspective is something they all have for sure.
Yes.
Especially this one. You do. You do.
I'm
Ashley,
just a fumbling person learning my way through life and just talking about it. That's it.
But
We
you're
all
right.
are.
But you're very good with it. I don't think you give yourself enough credit sometimes.
Well, I'm not. It's not that I'm not giving myself credit, but I'm not going to overinflate anything.
Oh, no.
You know?
I'll overinflate it for you. Don't worry.
There you have it.
So tell us more, Ryan, about this book and what
Yeah.
led you to writing it, and what are you hoping that the message will come across as when you finish this book?
Yeah, well, this book, my love letters to the bride, it's just my love letters to my family, because that is my family. That's where I come from. But I think, too, there's a healthiness when you can just show people, just from, what you see, who they are,
Right.
Yeah,
and how they're not being what Jesus has called us to be to this world.
yeah,
And I don't even like sometimes calling myself a Christian, because God is not a noun you can put in a box, right?
right.
He's a verb. He's everything. He's this microphone. He's me and you. And how is it that when you're speaking to the God, I call it space heaven. I was always taught God was in space heaven. Come on, man. I get he's in space heaven, but Guess what? When I'm looking at you, guess what I'm looking at? I'm looking at God. When I'm looking at you, I'm looking at God.
You're looking at the manifestation.
Come on, man.
We're his creation.
Come on. How can you be separate? There's no way you can be separate from the creator if we're all one in this thing.
When we're all made in his image.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I have a belief, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I don't know if I've said this to you before. So we grew up in a type of religion that was so emphasized on sin, right? Sin was the emphasis of everything. And you felt pretty awful about yourself most of the time because you can't go a day without sinning. You're human, right? Yes. And so you have this belief in your mind that sin is this dirty word, this like awful thing. Oh God, to be a sinner. Oh, I sinned today. It's like this word that you hear and it's like, oh, you cringe, right? And one day, I don't even remember if I was like reading the Bible. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know if I was listening to worship, probably. It occurred to me that the way that we have emphasized the word is triggering. And it's not even like the definition of what it actually is. And what I realized was, in my mind, sin is not this dirty thing we do, this awful, unworthy way of living. It is everything. Sin is what takes us further from the mark of what God could call us to be. So everything that we do, we either get closer to our highest self, closer to God, or we get a step further away. And it's not that it's just like this, we're going to be thrown into the pits of hell for this sin, right? It's that every step we take away from what God could have us be, we are further away from the greatest version, the happiest place we could be, the most peace we could find, the most loving feeling we could have. Like the closer you get to God, the happier and more peace you feel, right? And that's the point. It's not that, oh, because you did this, well, I'm going to kick you off a cliff into the gates of hell. It's sin is anything that happens in your life that just pulls you a little bit further away from the best thing you could be. That's what I think. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. It actually makes sense to this. Like when you look up sin in the Hebrew term, which is the original language back in those days. And you got to remember too, their language was a little bit limited too.
Yeah.
Sin just means you missing a mark.
Yeah.
Meaning, if I'm off just a little bit, reshift your focus.
Yeah.
It's not eternal damnation thing where you go to. It is a it is a mental consciousness. Yeah. You know, that's why I always spoke in the Bible about Jesus having Christ consciousness. Yeah. Even the word Jesus Christ, people think Christ is Jesus' last name. Christ means the anointed one and his or her anointing. Yeah. Like you can be Ashley Christ. You're supposed to be Chris Christ. I'm supposed to be Brian Christ. That means a Christ conscience. You're taking on the mindset of Christ. Now, Jesus was the perfect example of walking that out, but it just wasn't him. Right. We're supposed to be doing even greater works than he's undone. He was always not pointing the light to himself. He was always pointing it to each other and to God. But religion has pointed towards him, which we don't have access to. Come on, man. Just 3 weeks ago, we all just stopped and paused to celebrate Easter. Yeah. What is Easter all about? Right. Forgiveness of all sins. It is finished, past, present, and future sins. So you tell me, either it is finished or it isn't. I choose to believe what Jesus said. It is finished, and we're all good. Yeah. Period. Yeah. Period. All the other drama, you can have it. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I agree. You can have it. I agree. I liken it to like an example with sin. It's like if you want to be an Olympic, runner and you want to win, here's the things you got to do. Yeah. And if you do these things, you will win that race, right? Yes. If you don't, you won't win that race, but that's okay too, right? Like, and it, just for an example, like, Yeah. And that's the cool thing too with that race though. If you don't win the race, guess what you get to do tomorrow? You get to run it again. Yeah, that's right. It's not, you get another chance. Get another chance every day. Every day you can get closer. Every day you can take another step. Yes. That's right.
You can always make up for your mistakes.
Yes.
You're not, like you said, you're not condemned to eternal damnation over something that.
That's right. That's why the Bible says there's forgiveness. Because there is.
And if that's the case, Chris, we're all screwed.
We're all screwed. This whole world is screwed. Seriously.
It's a wrap.
100%.
And who said night night?
Yeah. Just give up.
That's all, folks.
Give up now.
So tell us, when's the release of the book, man?
Man, hopefully within the next several months. I'm talking to some publishers now. So if the publishers don't come through, I'm just going to release it myself. I believe in my fan base, and they've been waiting on something too. Not my fan base. I like to call them my family base. Right. I've been waiting on my family base. Sorry, family base for saying fan base, but I've been waiting on my family base. I'll release it to my family base. They've been waiting on me to do something and just to speak the truth. And I'm just ready to speak not my truth, but the truth that the God source has been speaking within me. It's resonating with people. It's not for everybody, but it is for me. So I'm good with that. Actually, with the We Are One movement back in 21, while I was going through a divorce, I just took a pause and hit the reshift button, everything new. So I kind of trashed everything, threw in the garbage. I'm just hitting the reset button. It's a restart. Everything is new, man. So spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, and relationally, everything is new. So
that's awesome, man.
I love that.
That's amazing.
I want to talk about too. You have a daughter, right?
Yes, I have 4 girls.
You 4?
Wow, I didn't know
I'm a girl
that.
dad, a proud girl dad.
Oh, and how old are they?
Well, are you sure you want to know this?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. My oldest baby, Essence, she's 27. Brianna's 26. Aubrey Love, her name is Aubrey Love. She'll be 22 this year. And Leonie, my youngest, she's 10.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I started young.
Yeah.
Streets raise you. St. Louis, Missouri. So I mean, I didn't have a dad, so I was taught the wrong way.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
How was it growing up that way with your daughters?
Man, honestly, it was a little challenging because I was in 3 different households at once because all my daughters' moms were by different women and stuff. So I had to be, out there traveling on the road and then coming home because when you're out there touring, your weekend is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
Oh. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is, you're out there entertaining. So I had to be very creative and very strategic in my move. So it means I missed a lot of PTA meetings, a lot of things and stuff. So now with my youngest daughter, Leonie, I'm able to be there for her, man. And I'm all in. I love taking her to school. I love picking her up. I love just really loving on her. And all my babies, they're beautiful and stuff. And I feel like with my 3 older daughters, I kind of sacrifice them, but it's not a sacrifice. It's like, okay, got to pay child support payments or go to jail. Which one is it?
Right.
Provide for the best schooling or, so I decided to be there financially because I wanted to give my family something I never had. I didn't have a dad, right? So I wanted to be a pillar, and I still am a pillar. My thing is I protect and I provide.
Yeah.
And I love them. I protect, I provide. I pride myself in those things.
That's good.
So I just wanted to give my daughter something that I never really had, that covering.
Yeah.
Of that. And so for my youngest daughter, as my oldest daughter say, she has a good daddy.
She's spoiled.
She don't know, you torn like the way you are. And then too, sometimes when I do to her, she's able to, come with me and stuff and see that. And she's trying to sign autographs. I'm like, no, that's too young. Daddy, can I sign too? Can I have $10? You better earn that money. Right. Come on now.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I love it.
Hey, man, you're a good man and you're a good father, clearly so.
Thank you, brother.
I'd love to know. I'm sorry. One more question.
No, go for it.
I'd love to know what kind of man you'd like to see for your children, because you being a man, you know how the world works.
Yes.
You've probably been that man before, right?
Yes.
And now that you have all girls, God willing, what do you hope to see for them? What do you hope to see change in our culture with love and romantic relationships that will be good for your kids, your girls?
Yes, Ashley, that's a great question. I'm being right now what I want for my daughters.
That's great.
The chivalry, the provider, the protector, open up the car doors. Don't wait 18 days until let somebody text you.
Yeah.
You like them, call them, be straight up, be honest. You know what I'm saying? I just believe in a man providing and a man doing all the things, man, real love is not weak.
Yeah.
Real love, that's real strong, man.
Yeah.
You got to be a man to have those hard conversations. And I think too, opposites do attract. Like when I was younger, I used to always want to try to get somebody who's just like me. You have a lot of blind spots when you do that, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I need somebody that's opposite of me, so we're whole one unit. So my weaknesses are your strengths are your weaknesses, and I just feel that the men for my daughter is the men that I'm exemplifying to them right now. Just being the full man doesn't mean I'm perfect, but when B sees wrong, I'm able to apologize, say I'm sorry, correct it, and let's move forward.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
that's how it
just
should
total
be.
compassion, love, and I love in the Bible too, it says, with love and kindness have I drawn thee, not with hate and judgment. So I just want to have love and kindness. And I need a man to have love and kindness for my girls, because if you don't, you're going to have to deal with daddy.
Yeah.
And there won't be
sure.
very much
Yeah.
love and kindness over here.
No, you're going to go see him. I'm going to send you. I'm going to send
I'm
you
love and kindness all day until.
until my babies.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly how it should be.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so I love that.
It's great that you raised them that way, because honestly, in today's world, with some of the guys
scary.
out there, yeah, I've said in one of the previous podcasts that there's just, I don't think I could ever have a daughter, so I give you a lot of credit. It would be very tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not when they're younger, but as they grow up, it would be, yeah. When
Be
I
very
watch,
tough.
yeah, it would be very hard for me.
Yeah.
So I give you a lot of credit for being the man and father that you are.
Yeah. Man, do you ever, did you ever watch the movie Will Smith and Martin Lawrence with the, what's the Bad Boys?
Yeah. They got
Come to
the fourth one coming out now.
Bro, that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be off the hook.
But remember when they would come, the boys would come and date Martin's daughter?
They would.
That's what we need to do together.
Yes.
Yeah, your guns and your
That's hilarious.
hood boys.
They come up with the 40s at the door.
What your name is, kid?
That is like the best ever.
Yes.
Oh, they're great together.
But they should, I think every man should have a little fear of his
Yes.
significant other's father. A little bit.
right.
Like in a healthy way. But like, honestly, if you think about it, the men that get away with the most are men that date or marry women who didn't have a good father figure. Because they have nothing to be accountable to.
So
They have no one to be accountable to. Like
True.
a good man will do everything in his power to respect his father-in-law or his significant other's father, right?
Yeah, for sure. If you're a smart guy,
If you're smart
right, you will
and you
not-
have any sort of values at all.
yeah, you will not
It was just
disrespect
also telling.
the daughter of another man.
yes.
Yeah.
Gives you chill.
Yeah,
See, I don't even.
He's
have
like, I'm waiting.
I don't even have daughters, and I have that feeling.
Better
when I think
show
about
up
it.
right.
I got you. I'm in the gym, y'all, every day. Let's go.
That's true. I met him for, this is so funny. I met him for coffee. It was like a month or two ago. I don't remember when that was. We walked in for coffee and this old woman comes over, right? And the first thing she does, she like, I don't even know how she ended up touching your arm.
Yeah, she just
touched your arm. She's like, whoa, you work out. Or I don't remember what she said, but it was hilarious.
She just kept on rubbing my arm like,
Yeah,
okay,
she was like
this is cool.
into it. It was so funny.
Potential.
Yeah.
No, older woman. Older
I
woman.
know, I'm
We're
joking.
talking.
Bless her
Great
heart. As we
grandmother.
say in the South, Tennessee, bless your heart.
Yeah. One more question for you though before we call this finished up. What is the main message? If you were to say anything at all, Brian Haley, what is the main message that you want people to know about you and about what you hope to see in the world?
Yes, that's pretty easy for me. Humanity should be our only race, and love our only religion. Period.
Clap.
Awesome, amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
If only everybody lived that way.
That's right. That's right.
Deep stuff, Brian.
Thank
Good
you,
stuff,
guys.
man. Happy to have you here, bro.
Thank you for having me. I
Yeah.
love you guys. Nothing you could do about it.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us as usual. Please continue to give us feedback. You know we always appreciate it. Be sure to check out Brian Healy's new book.
My love letters to the bride.
It should be releasing here in the States sometime over the next, 2 months or so, Brian?
Yes, 4 months.
4 months. Okay, bro. So be sure to check it out. Check him out on IG at We Are One Movement. Again, that's We Are One Movement. He's got some great clips up there. He's got some amazing public speaking that he does. Be sure to check him out. Super motivational, inspirational guy. Brian, we loved having you, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
We
buddy.
appreciate
Thank
you very
you.
much, man. Check our IG out at notfornothing.podcast. Check out our YouTube at Not For Nothing Podcast, one word. And you can see all our episodes and short clip content anytime you like. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. It's a wrap.